Turn the mic on. Mic is on. Man, what's happening? What's going on, cousins? Let me go ahead and do this intro. I know it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let me knock some of these cobwebs off. Let me get back in the full
I
swing.
see your shirt over there.
Oh, that Bruce Leroy?
Yeah.
But that's my riding name. In my bike.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's my riding name. So that's why I use it. I use it on everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That Bruce Leroy.
Good. Yeah.
Because I got that glow. But anyway, let's get back in. Let me, like I said, knock these cobwebs off. What's going on, cousins? What's
Yeah.
happening? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, tonight, tomorrow night, last night, tomorrow morning, yesterday, tomorrow afternoon. Uh yes, it's been a minute. Cousins been we've been off the mic for a little minute. You know what I mean? We've been out here trying to fight these scheduling conflicts. You know what I mean? As always, I got my co-host Molly uh out here, future motivational speaker and advocate. Yeah, I added advocate to your resume.
Yeah. I've transitioned into parent advocate officially. So
Oh, oh,
yes.
oh, we're gonna talk about that. So and you know who I am, Bruce Leroy. Yeah, we've been gone for a minute, but we're back. We're trying to get back into it. We are approaching 1 year. You know what I mean?
Yes.
1 year. And then we're gonna plan something for our 1 year anniversary. We got a couple episodes. We're gonna get back in the swing before the end of this season. This is
Yeah.
our first season. We got some ideas. We got some episodes that we're gonna push out. That we're gonna get going. So stay tuned, stay locked in. We're gonna keep this consistency going.
Mhm.
Uh, but we both still got careers, so we still got multiple priorities and responsibilities. So
Yes.
but this is a priority and responsibility that we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep pushing, we're gonna keep rocking. So with no further ado, matter of fact, let me go on and get into it right now. So we parent advocate, huh? Let me go on and get into it now.
Advocate. So, I didn't officially announce it, but I started like a advocacy company that is going to be geared towards parents and students for families that experience similar situations that I have experienced. So if it's what should I say, student crimes or assaults or different things of that nature. Come on, the dog is crying. It's always a distraction, but messing things up. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna start this organization, and I didn't want it to be limited to Delaware. Because it's a national issue that's going on, and I didn't want to limit myself because why limit myself to just Delaware? I need to think bigger. So,
Where is
uh,
we need a bell. We need a bell so that I can hit this bing. I can. I'm gonna need something. I need something.
yeah.
But
So, after the last couple of weeks, I just sat to myself and really thought about, when we go through different things, we really need to take time to process everything. Initially, we think it's about us, and it's really so not about us. It's the bigger picture. Like, how can we help other people to make sure that they don't have to experience what we experience?
mhm.
That's my main goal at this point. I don't want any other children or parents to not be educated in a sense, to not know how to deal with different situations that arise. And I don't want other people to be so scared or limited on resources that
Mhm.
we need to make sure that we know about. We'll get into that at a later date. I can't talk about everything at this point,
Right.
because of legal issues, but yeah, I'm definitely starting it. And it came from the organization push came from a person telling me, basically, like your opinion has no value. And
Mm.
like I said, It doesn't do anything but motivate me even more.
Like it. I like it.
Like, so
I like it.
why not take advantage of it and add it to my resume? I mean, we're getting pages at
Let's
this
get
point.
it.
So yeah.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So, I finished my mediation course last week. Train mediator. So mediator in the organization to help mediate between students and parents, between parents and faculty. You know what I'm saying? Like how we let's come to agreement on how we're gonna resolve this issue.
We need these resolution meetings. That's another thing that we need to touch on. The police don't want to do it. The school district doesn't want to do it. So who's going to bring the pieces together to the puzzle is my next question to everyone. And you're going to be needed. I'm going to be needed. And we're going to do what is best for everyone, not just one-sided. So yeah, we got some things to do. Listen, when we started this year out, none of this was on my mind at all. So the way I see it is growth as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We're gonna talk.
Yeah.
If you can fit me in your schedule,
I know.
you can pencil me in a little bit on your schedule.
Look, I got my book right here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's good. I like it. I like to hear that. I like that. I like where it's going. I feel like we're finally figuring out what our gift is, and
Yes.
we're finally actioning we're actioning our thoughts and our our gifts and moving into what our purpose is.
Yes.
And and we're figuring it out, and I like it. And everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So there's no like, oh, I wish I would have done this earlier, or I should have, I wish I had this thought earlier. Probably everything happens for a reason. I'm a true believer in everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why things happen. You know what I mean? I may not know why it happened at the moment, but at some point later on, I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, that's why it happened. For me, like I've done that multiple times. Like there was a reason why that happened. It was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I ain't hit the lotto when I was younger, because
All right, now. Everybody went out to get those tickets the other week, and it's just like, okay, back to normal. You still gotta put some work in.
Yeah, that's huge. Anyway, huge scam. Lottery, huge scam.
Yeah.
Because if you think you're just gonna get that money, because they lobby you, like, take the lump sum and then you pay your taxes and then you have to work. There's way more that goes into the lottery and who gets a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Because like some of the stores that sell that ticket, I just heard about this. Like the store that sells those big tickets, they get a portion.
Yes, they do. So do you ever pay attention to the store owner's car as you roll up to the store? Because this is something that I had noticed in the last couple of weeks, like the people that have the Mercedes Benz outside. Now it could very well be a PPP loan, or it could be
not the PPP.
It could very well be the lottery that they got that lucky ticket. So I think a lot of people got into the hype a couple weeks ago, and Guy really humbled us back to you're gonna work. So
all
right.
No. All right. Let's get into this topic for the evening.
Yeah.
For this session. So we wanted the topic I wanted to dive in on a little bit on relationships, and not even like relationships, but like dating, and like I've been hearing a lot of conversations, and it's a constant topic because social media now, and everybody is a philosopher all of a sudden now that social media is out here, and uh but and they, they generalize these uh these quotes and these, philosophical uh rants that they go
Mhm.
on, like it's supposed to be like this one level of like what you're supposed to have or what you should be getting or whatever.
Yeah.
But uh what came across my mind and listening to some of these topics and talking to other people is like, are people who are looking for traditional significant others, but they're reciprocating with progressive behavior.
Mhm.
And and I feel like there was a time where, you know, there was a time where men worked and women didn't work.
Yeah.
So the premise was that, women had to you had to get married and find you a mate
Mhm.
for that person, because for that person to provide for you, right? They're supposed, and they're supposed to provide everything because they're the ones that are working.
Mhm.
And women weren't allowed to work,
Yes.
right? Uh, and if they did work, it was in like housekeeping,
Mm.
uh, babysitting or childcare,
Yes.
maybe secretarial work, but nothing, nothing where it was like you were able to progress, right?
Yes.
So, you know, the premise was you had to find a mate, you had to get married, and that way they provided for you,
Mhm.
right? But that's no longer the case anymore. Like, women are allowed to work. It may not be, we're still working on that equality,
Yeah.
but the opportunities compared to years ago and now have increased and have gotten better for women, right?
It has.
But yeah, so like, where do you draw the line? Like, where do you go from like, I want a significant other to pay for everything, provide everything,
Mm.
but yet you're still getting money and you're still, if you're getting an income and you're not providing anything, then what are we talking about? Now, if that's the type of relationship that you want, then by all means, find that person is what I'm really getting to when I'm saying. You find that person that's going to do that, right? But also, know that that person may not fit everything else on your list.
This laundry list, um, it is a laundry list for
It
us
is.
women, across the board. It doesn't matter what your race is. Usually we have requirements that need to be met. Now, I don't know what happened in the last, I would say 10 to 15 years of requirements for women, because I think it's either high, real high, or it's real low for most women. Meaning
Mhm.
that uh from my age bracket, it's not a requirement for a man to have a job for us to be with them. So some of us may get with the guys that don't want to work. And we don't mind that. As long as you come home and you're with me, it what?
I'm saying, like, right.
Or you have on the higher level of, you gotta take care of me totally. You gonna pay for my nails, pay for my pedicures, you gonna pay for my hair, you gonna pay for me to go on trips, you gonna fly me out. I think there has to be some type of balance in between of what requirements you need to be met. Now, for me, from my point of view, I'm not a person that has had a man take care of me. I've always made money. So I'm just coming into a relationship with the requirement, listen, I need you to have a job. I need you to have a driver's license. I need you to take a bath every day. At least once a day.
Hold on. All right.
Those are my requirements. But working, and I was just talking to one of my girlfriends the other day about it. Like, when we compromise ourselves or our situations, it's just like, okay, if you are a woman and you're the breadwinner in this progressive state of women, if that's the right term to use, we like compromise our life in a sense. Like, okay, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that's bringing home all of the money. So you're going to be the one at home cooking, cleaning. Like, the roles have been reversed in a sense from the traditional way of doing things to where we are now. So, for instance, I know we talked about it before. My dad's parents, my grandmother was the breadwinner. She made more money. And my grandfather, so my grandmother was a superintendent of a school district. My grandfather worked for probation and parole. So he didn't make that much money. He had to go up in rank in order to make the money that he did. More so, my grandmother did it a certain sense, but she climbed faster, I guess, than what he did, and she made more money. So he was the person that was at home doing laundry, making sure the kids were good and all that stuff. So the roles were reversed in a sense. So that's what I saw. I saw a man taking care of the household, but I never knew that he didn't make more money than her in a sense, because he always made sure that the bills were paid, whatever was done. Like, it wasn't thrown in front of our faces to say he made less than. But now, in a sense, I think our generation is thrown in front of people to say, I make more money than you. You don't get to say, pick or choose what we gonna do in a sense. I know I've been there. So, yes, the roles have been reversed, but I think there are requirements that need to be met as young women and young men. And it shouldn't be all traditional and it shouldn't be all progressive. I'm not going into a relationship saying, hey, you got to fly me out somewhere. Well, if I want to fly somewhere, I'll buy my own ticket. Like, but women, in a sense, like we talked about it a couple of days ago, some women have it in their minds they gotta get something from that man. Like, they gotta get flown out, they gotta get a new pair of shoes or sneakers. But in my mind, I can buy my own stuff. You gotta bring something else. You gotta match my energy. You gotta match my effort. And if you don't, then we can't do nothing at all. That's where I am at 37.
Okay.
Speak for anybody else, but that's just me.
And that's the key. See, that's the key. You can only speak for yourself, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's about what do you want? And then finding what you want. Right? And that person has to, match, some of, what you're looking for. Like, you're not gonna get the perfect person, right?
No.
Yeah, but you can but you can find, you can come to a collaboration on things, on like, is this a want or is this a need? So but yeah, I agree. Like, you got to find the person that's going to do what what you're looking for or what you need, and you can't you can't date a few people and be like, none of these people are good. Ain't no good person out here. Blah blah blah. Like you haven't dated every person, so and if you stay within like a 10-block radius,
Yeah.
like more than likely you're going to date the same person because within a 10-block radius, like or within your city, like most of them are going to be the same person, or they have the same mindset or mentality. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because people talk, people know people.
Yeah.
So, your friends, if you all have the same type of mindset and think the same way and have the same values and attitudes and beliefs, the opposite sex is going to have the same values, attitudes, beliefs, or there's going to be pockets. So you can't so you really can't generalize, and really need to think about what is it that you really want versus what you
Yeah.
really need, and and finding that person that's going to meet those needs and wants, and maybe not all of them, but at some point is going to meet most of them,
Mhm.
right? So like, and plus, and then like, when I was another point that I wanted to get to is like, if you're looking for a traditional with behavior from a person from your significant other, but you're coming with progressive behavior, like that
Yeah.
doesn't match.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, unless you find that person that's willing to do that.
Mhm.
But if you know you're not, I don't know if you're gonna find that person.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I want you can't be like, I want someone to provide everything and he should be paying for this or they should be paying for this and they should be providing this and shouldn't have to pay any of my money. And then that person be like, I can do that, but I want you to cook. I want you to do, and then you be like, cook. I ain't got to cook. Like, hold on now.
Oh my gosh. That can get really tricky too, Ray Ray, because if you're, I was just thinking about this earlier. A lot of us miss out on a good thing when we are younger and not mature, because some of us have ran into either our soulmates or good people that had our best interests, but
Mhm.
we're not mature enough at that particular time to handle what they expected out of us, in a sense. So what I'm saying is, when we're younger and we get with people and they're like, listen, my mom stayed at home and my dad worked, so this is what I want you to do, in a sense. Meaning,
Mhm.
you got to make sure that the walls are clean, the house smells like bleach. You got to wash everything every single day. And it's just like, okay, but you want me to work too. So, it gets hard when you add in different tasks that need to be done. I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta do laundry, I gotta make sure the kids are good, I gotta make sure you good. And it's overwhelming for a lot of people.
Everybody looking for Claire Huxtable.
And Claire ain't out here. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And we don't want to be Claire. We want to be ourselves, in a sense. We want to be fit for purpose, meaning that what we offer you, we're going to do to the best of our ability. And when we do it, we don't want to be judged, in a sense, because you're doing to your best ability as well. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's not good enough. So I just feel like, we ask a lot out of each other. And like Lauren London said, you add an ego too to relationships.
Yeah.
And that can be very crazy for the relationship as well, because it's just like, it's power ego. Like, no, I make the money. You're gonna do what I say do. And if you don't, it's gonna be hell in this house.
Mhm.
And it's just things of that nature that you have to take into. And then also, I was just talking to somebody at my son's doctor's appointment, the nurse that he had, and she was like, yeah, I gotta go to Atlanta this weekend. And I was just like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, my boyfriend lives in Atlanta and I'm getting sick of going down there to see him. And it's just like, but what if he's that guy, you know but you don't want to leave Delaware. What if he
Mhm.
is, the man for you, but you don't want to relocate in a sense.
Mhm.
So, that comes with it too. Our guys may not be here, women in our area. I know for me, I probably most likely 95%, my man ain't here. He's not. Now, am I comfortable going to different states and seeing new cities and stuff like that? I'm getting to it. Yeah, I'm getting to it. But in the meantime, I just don't have time for nonsense. Like
Mm.
that is a key thing for me. Like I have a thing, I don't want to go through anything that I went through before in life. So if
Mm.
one red flag goes up, it's a done deal. Like, nope. So
So red.
red flag, laundry
About this
list. Oh,
red flag, like, yeah,
what's wrong with the red flag?
nothing. There's nothing wrong with a red flag, but like, how how do you identify a good, like a real red flag, and maybe it's a yellow flag,
You said a
maybe it's something
yellow flag.
caution, yellow flag, maybe it may be caution, like, maybe you didn't articulate your point well, or your behavior is a little flawed, but is it a full out red flag? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, what's the criteria for a red flag? Like, deep red flag, like, all right,
Okay, I have
something wrong.
I have examples.
Yep.
Um, from other people. I mean, I have a lot of, I call them sisters. Um, I'll start with this consistency.
Mm.
If I'm talking to you for a week nonstop, you're texting me good morning, dot 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 dot, because that's how it always is.
Mm.
That I know of. It starts off with these good morning texts. It makes you want to feel important when you get them.
Grand rising queen.
Yes.
Yo.
And it's just like you do that for a good week, and then we hang out, you know, then you drop off the map and I don't hear from you. And I'm just saying, I'm just using it as an
Yeah,
example. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
won't put people out there, but I don't hear from you. Then when I hit you up, it's just like, what you texting me for?
Oh,
Where did that come from?
oh, okay.
Um, is that a red flag or a yellow flag?
That could be a red flag. Like, it could be a red flag. But because like uh, because I've done, like, when you first meet someone and like they're on your mind and you like, yo, I like their vibe, they're real cool, and like I'm talking from like my perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because like I've met people like, oh, they real cool, like they on my mind,
Mhm.
hit you up, you know, I text you and like, but it's cool, but then like, uh, and I'm just being devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
But then like it gets dry, you know what I mean? Because like I've seen these
Bad energy.
I've seen these videos on Instagram, and it'd be funny because I've I've lived it. Like like we'll I'll text someone like, hey, what's going on? Not the what you doing, not the WYD, what you doing? Like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Well, what you up to? Chilling. All right, I'm about to go turn this I'm about to turn this PlayStation on because you dry. You giving me dry energy right now. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
I call. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll call and like, hey, what's going on? Chilling. So, how was your day? It was cool. You know what? Cool. Let me hit you back. You know what I mean? Because like because like I can only speak for myself because like I've been in those situations where like the conversation be dry, and then they be like, "Why you don't text me?" or why you want to get off the phone with me?"
Listen, okay, I have to tell this story. I get what you're saying. I get that it may be bad energy, don't know how to communicate. Maybe this is your first time dating. You don't feel comfortable in a sense. So some years ago, I'm not gonna put the dude out there, but some years ago, I think he even went to school with you. I think that might be the issue too. Yeah. Um, I was in a store and I was at the cash register. I don't even know if I told you this story or not, but I'm paying for my stuff, and it's only me and him in the store. Early in the morning, store just open. Only 2 customers in there, along with the person that's checking me out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's behind me, and I'm getting ready to walk off with my cart, and he's like, "Don't leave." And I'm like, I never held a conversation with you. I know you, but why are you yelling, "Don't leave" early in the morning? Like, I'm not understanding.
Come on, Blackstreet.
So I turn around and he puts his head down. So I'm like, okay. And the girl is standing there looking at him like, what's wrong with you? So I start walking off again, and he's like, don't leave. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, this is really, really weird. So I hit him up on like Messenger. And I was just like, I hit my homie up and I was just like, dude, you remember this guy that we grew up with or whatever? Like, I know his name, but like, I don't know why he was yelling. Was somebody following me? Was somebody getting ready to do something to me that he didn't want done? Or like, I just didn't know. So he was like, yeah, this is the guy. He added him on my Facebook or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I would never do this. I said, let me hit him up on Messenger and say, hey, what's going on? Like, so I did. And he was like, yeah, I think you're cute. And da 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 da. I want to take you out on a date. And I was like, okay, cool. Weeks go by, we talking, conversation's good. I thought it was good. And I was just like, so when we going out on a date? Now I'm asking him again. And he's like, oh yeah, we can go out Saturday. I was just like, okay, cool. Saturday come, I don't hear from him. So now you flaking me. And then it continues for weeks later. So it's just like, okay, what the heck do you want? So then I'm just like, you know what? Let me remove you from Facebook. Then he comes on Instagram. He finds me on Instagram and adds me. So I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, so I get the uncomfortableness, but at the same time, if we're mature, this is what my thing too. Don't come at me with no okey doke, like, please talk. Like, tell me what you want and be consistent with your actions. Because the moment that you're not consistent is the moment that I'll shut it all down. Like,
yeah. So like, yeah, I can understand. And here's why I can say it. I can understand because so like we know there's extroverts and introverts, right? There's people who are naturally are able to go and talk to people and like carry conversations, blah blah blah, yada yada. And there's some people who are not like that, right? And there's some people who are shy, some people who have anxiety, whatever. So if you're like, there's time, I feel like there's time, and I've done it myself, like where like I can see someone and like I'm physically attracted to. I'm like, man, pretty, cute, whatever. Probably got to do.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm rationalizing, I'm making
Yeah.
excuses why I should not talk to this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and also, it's like there's this there's this feeling of like, if I go talk to this girl or this person, and if she goes 10 on me, and all I'm just saying like, hey, how you doing? I find you cute. It basic, like, yo, all that disrespect and all that extraness is not necessary. Like, if you're not interested, be like, oh, thanks, I appreciate it, I'm not interested, or
Yeah.
I have a significant other. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
No disrespect. You have a good day. I go on about my business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if you on some, why are you? I can't. Like, yo,
Uh,
because like it takes a lot not to like roast you. Like, yo, hold on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because so like all this is like it plays in your mind of like, if I want to talk to this person, but I don't know how to, if you come out on a bag on me, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And that can has like tertiary effects, because like, oh man, if I go to the tech to this next person, are they gonna feel the same way, or are they gonna do the same thing? Or like,
is
if
that
I
trauma?
huh?
Is that trauma?
It's
Because the only reason why I'm saying this is because I took Jay to drop her off this weekend, and I noticed a boy at the campus was walking,
mm-hmm,
cute little boy, and a group of girls walked by, and he wanted to say hi to them. I could
mm-hmm,
see it, but I also saw on the flip side of that, like you just said, the energy of the ego of the woman or women, young women, and it's just like, you better not say nothing to me because you're the dirt on the ground. So it's just
yeah,
like, you have, and it's okay to have high expectations, but I
mm-hmm,
think you need to be humble too, because I think sometimes us women get to the point where we think we're higher than, that we can't be, we're not reachable in a
mm-hmm,
sense. So I felt bad for the little boy, but it made me think, like, how many young men do not act on who they like because of not being accepted previously from a young lady. They're scared of the reaction that we give off as Black women. And it's okay to have aggressive behavior to a certain point.
mm-hmm,
Like, I think you can be honest, but don't be passive aggressive or aggressive to the point where that you're just mean.
mm-hmm.
I don't agree with that at all. Um, but I just don't know. Like, us as women, I wouldn't even say Black women, women period. Like,
Mm-hmm.
are we missing out on good things because we're not mature enough, in a sense, to receive that energy? I don't know.
Possibility. I mean, I can throw that right back. Like, you know, y'all can go through trauma as well. Because like, if you the guy that really don't care, you know, hey, little mama, hey, Rick Bone, hey, you know what I'm saying? And like,
Mhm.
that had that mentality of like, I gotta keep going until I get yes. You know what I mean? Or, I get the number, or like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Or they be like, they try to talk to a lady, or they try, you try to talk to another person, and they be like, oh, no, thank you, but I'm good. And they be like, well, forget you then, old boy head. You know what I mean? Yeah, like they like calmly, like, respectfully was like decline, and then you took it as like they spit in your face, like, what is, calm down. You know what I mean? Like, it's, that's coming both ways, and then that's like, that can, I can see how that behavior can, you know change the someone else's behavior, where they get to be like, don't be talking to me, I can't believe, you know what I mean? Because so, Absolutely. I feel like it's like trauma versus trauma. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
think that you got to know what you want when you get into the dating pool, in a sense, meaning you really got to be um clear on your demands and your requirements, but also you have to be reasonable in a sense. You know, that I think there's someone for everybody out here, but
Mhm.
where that person is, it may not be in your area or your state that you're in currently. I think that
May
sometimes
not even be in your country.
may not be in your country, because I have a friend that went to another country and she married a guy and they make it work. They make it work. So, it is true. Like, you got to do what you got to do. But, for people like me, um, we sit on the sideline and, we watch the cars go by. And it's just like, what in the world? Like, I want to be loved too, but
I feel like I feel like there's a lot of like there's still a lot of like traditional thinking because like if you're if you become an adult and you're navigating of trying to figure out who you are
mm-hmm.
and if you haven't figured out whenever you figure out who you are, whether it may be in your 20s, it may be in your 30s, it may be in your 40s,
Yeah.
when you figure out who you are, what you want and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's still that traditional
Found
pressure of like you have to find a mate early and you're supposed to be with this person for 40, 50, 60 years, like great, your grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents, but it's like
that.
I feel there's nothing wrong with getting into a relationship in your 40s or your 50s whenever you find that person. You know what I mean? If you enter into some relationships and they don't work, like there's nothing wrong with you, or it may not be nothing wrong with the other person. I mean, given the circumstances, but
Yeah.
if y'all ended y'all relationship amicably, that was just you tried it, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
You into your next one, and you tried it, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever put a model together?
Who?
You ever put a model together, like a model car or a helicopter or something? Like the first time you put a model together, did it come out perfect?
No, no, it never comes out perfect.
You know what I mean? Like the first time you do something, like the first time you put together a T-shirt
Mm.
or any of your merchandise that you sell on India's Creations, you know, the first time you did it, did it always come out perfect?
No.
It takes reps.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, there's nothing wrong with you entering into a relationship in your later years. And
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing I feel like there's nothing wrong with like having a life partner. If you don't like if you want to find if you have a person where it works and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to but you don't want to get married because for whatever reason, and if that person doesn't want to get married, but y'all life work together as like we just why we gotta get married? I mean, we're already doing whatever we doing. Like we're already in this relationship and it works. You
I
know,
agree. I agree with
because
that. I think it doesn't have to be, for me, it doesn't have to be marriage. I think I've seen a lot of people do the married side after being together for a long time, and then they end up getting divorced because they end up resenting getting married. When you are having fun and it's not so many limitations on um marriage and requirements, and you know you're a woman, you got to do this and this and this, and I'm a man and I got to do this and this and this, and it's just like, okay. And wires get crossed, so it's many different layers to why things don't work out. But I do believe if it's working out as girlfriend and boyfriend, then continue to do it if it works for you. Don't allow anyone into your space to tell you you should get married, because you still got to learn that person. You know, a lot of us have been in long-term relationships and for years and still not known that person for who they really were, in a sense. You know, or we may overlook different things thinking that okay, they're not like that, and then they turn out to be really like that. So you know, you got to think about that too. I personally, I have a rule now. Nobody will ever meet anybody that I'm dating until probably after we get married in my family. Definitely won't be bringing them to a family reunion or anything like that. Mm-mm.
I feel attacked just a little bit. Just a little bit. I feel attacked.
I know better.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel the same way because I know I've because I remember every time I came home, I used to get drilled. "Like, what's going on? You mean dating anybody? You got a lady in your life?" And like I already know
The
that
routine.
you know that the three-letter organization non-members in my family, this FBI, the CIA,
The IRS
EPA, the
is
IRA, you know, my cousins, uh, my female cousins in my family is gonna interrogate.
yeah.
But yeah, man, bro, I got should have wrote it down. You brought up a point, and I wanted to talk on it, but I can't remember what it was now.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, fit
Mm,
for purpose. You know, I think Oprah has done it very well in her situation. You know, she's made it work for her. And as long as you have a strong partner that supports you, like you were saying the other day, that is a key point too, because sometimes for us women, sometimes we make more money, and I'm just speaking from experience. Sometimes it can be um causing issues in your relationship, in a sense, because that person feels like, well, I'm not doing what they're doing, I'm not meeting their requirements, so I'd rather just go ahead and just, you know, step out because I'm never going to meet her requirements. So it would be easier for me to just go ahead and just, you know, do what I do and not have to meet her requirement, in a sense. I know a lot of situations have ended up like that. So
where does that come? Like, where does that come? Where does that come from? Does that come from outside influence? Does that come from what other people are going to think because of the situation
oh,
that you're in? Because of the traditional thinking or the traditional behavior of like what's supposed to be, and we're talking about gender roles and all this other stuff. So it's like, I ain't supposed to be home. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be protector, blah blah yada yada. I'm supposed to be the provider, the breadwinner, and all this stuff. Like, do what works for your relationship, and if you're happy in your relationship and it works, fine.
yes.
You know what I mean? Stop worrying about what other people think, or allowing other outside. I heard. I remember seeing. I think it was a video of this guy. He was this couple. They were talking. This guy he was talking. He was like, uh, when it comes to his family,
Mhm.
no one in his family is able to check his wife.
Yes.
If you have a concern with my wife, you come talk to me, and I will talk, and I will address it with my wife. But
Yeah.
no one in his no none of his family members are able to check his wife or come at his wife or in any type of way. If you have an issue with his wife, you come talk to me, and I'll have a conversation with my wife.
I think it's a respect level though.
It's setting boundaries.
And
Setting
setting
boundaries
boundaries, yes.
and you gotta setting boundaries with family, setting boundaries with friends. You know what I mean? Like, look, this is the boundary when it comes to my relationship, and
Yeah.
that's like a conversation that you gotta have with your significant other. Like,
Yeah.
the boundaries that I want, because you because I feel like I can't set a boundary with my family and friends, and
Mhm.
yet you haven't set that same boundary for your family and friends.
Oh, it's definitely not gonna. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna work out. You know, It's gonna be a train wreck. It's gonna be a train wreck because when you get, I'm just speaking from a woman's perspective. When you get with a man that has a strong bond with his mother and bond relationship, do everything, especially if they're the only boy or the only child.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
I don't think Aunt Mary would be like that. I
Nope.
definitely don't think she would.
And I was going. I'm gonna talk about that after you get done.
So all of them are not like that, but I've seen some doozies where situations have gotten hectic because the mom is like, "This is my son.
Mm-hmm.
I took care of him. I had him." It's more of like a property. Like he's gonna do what I say do. And then you got the woman over here who is just like, "Well, I'm his wife and I'm providing something that you can never provide," in a sense. So it's just like he's caught in between trying to keep both relationships healthy, but it's a power struggle in a sense. And I would never date someone who can't shake their mom. Mean that no. If you, it's okay to have a relationship with your mom, love her to death, all of that good stuff, do anything for her. But when you rely on her day to day, I can't compete with that. Because she's still gonna be your mom before me and after me. So like I just can't. So but go ahead. I don't think Aunt Mary would do that at all.
Nah, my mom wouldn't do that. And what I think is dope. Like, cause I asked her like years ago. Cause like I hear like how other people are seeing it on like on entertainment where they're like their mom always they're always asking like when you gonna have kids or when you gonna get married and this and that and this and that. And like my mom has never done that to me. And
Yeah.
I asked her, I was like, Mom, why you I was like, you never asked me like when I'm gonna get married, when I'm gonna have kids. And she was like, I would never do that. She was like, that's a like having kids or whatever, it's a big responsibility. It's a
Yeah.
lot. And
Yeah.
she was like, I will never force that on you. And you know what I mean? And like uh I'm very selective of like who I introduced to my mom. And like some of the women that I've dated probably have met my mom more likely through chance.
Okay.
Like I was dating this girl when this woman and when I was stationed down in Texas. And this was before my second deployment, and my mom came down to Texas. And like she was with me, and I just happened to bring her. Uh, and then my mom we was staying with uncle. Uh, but I brought her over to the house, and she like met my mom.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, hey, I want you to come with my mom. It was like, hey, I'm about to, I'm going over here. We're already together, so like she
Yeah.
met my mom through chance. Cause like we wasn't on like some serious
Yeah.
type stuff. So like she met my mom through chance. You know what I mean? And like some I have a so that's usually how it goes. And like if I bring someone around my mom, then it was I thought it had the potential. So that's why. But like, yeah, my mom, she wouldn't do that. And she doesn't it's like she doesn't never like, have you date? I get more of that from my cousins being the only child, my sisters. I get that more from y'all than I get it from my mom.
I think it's kind of insensitive to ask us when we're getting married. Because some of us, you know, don't want to get married, to be honest.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like if that's not what you want or what you need, then there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's just again, that's that traditional mindset that's been that's been pushed and that's been carried on through generations. And it's like this is, it worked for the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got it. Like y'all fell in love. Your relationship is great.
Yeah.
You may be the example. You have kids, and you're in this bliss, and you want this bliss from me.
Yeah.
But you want it from me, but do I want it?
Yeah.
Everyone. Everybody doesn't. The tree doesn't fall far from I mean, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but
Mm-hmm.
it may be a green apple, and you may be the only green apple in a bunch of red apple trees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you got to do what works for you. Got think about your child and allow them to figure out who they are, allow them to do that trial, and if that's what they want to. If that's the journey that they're on, then that's the journey that they're on.
Yeah. I was just sitting here thinking when Aunt Pat got married, I was dating a guy and I had taken him over to my grandparents' house like a couple weeks before the wedding. And I'm thinking, we cool, we chilling, whatever. I wasn't thinking it was serious, but in his mind, it was serious.
Mm.
And I just happened to go over there and I introduced them to everybody and they were like, "So are you coming to the wedding?" And I was like, "Why would y'all say something about the wedding? I didn't invite them." But he took high offense to it. Like, we together and you not gonna invite me to your family member's wedding? I'm just like, no.
Mm.
And that was that. That was it for us. I was just like, man,
Man.
I messed up.
Bum bum ba da.
Yeah.
Burn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I said, we tend to miss out on different things because we're not mature enough in our younger days. And it's all learning lessons. All learning lessons.
Life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like got to be able to avoid that pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I did. Like, I didn't really I didn't get the pressure from my mom, but I got pressure from other people who were like, "Hey, what's going on? Are you dating anybody? Blah blah blah." I'm like, "Why are you
Like,
worried?"
is that just our family though? Or I wonder if a lot of other people deal with that pressure in their family as well.
I can only speak from my point of view, and I can only speak for my experiences.
Yeah.
Right. So, but those were my experiences. Like, I never got it from mom. I got it from other family members.
Mhm.
Right. And I'm not talking like y'all, like my cousins or
Yeah.
but like every family member be like, "Hey, are you dating anybody? Where your girlfriend at?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, cool. Like what I'm saying? Like I never like I don't have to explain myself. Like
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you, and or I'm like, nah, I'm not dating nobody. Which I probably could have been dating somebody at the time, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
But you might never know.
Yeah, like I'm not divulging my business to you. When if I bring someone to the reunion, then strong possibility there may be some potential there. You know what I mean? Or I bring around a family, but like if I don't,
Mm-hmm.
then it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
so. But yeah, like I really haven't divulged a whole lot of like what I got going on
Yeah.
in family. It's just like,
I feel like that you have to keep it to yourself. Well, everybody for that matter, because the moment I feel like it's a little tainted for me anyway. Like the moment that you bring somebody, it's just like, okay. And then when they're not there anymore, people be like, well, what happened to him? And it's just like then you gotta be forced to explain what happened. Like, cause they gonna keep on asking. That's one thing, they will be persistent with getting their answer. Like,
mm,
so yeah, it's just like I think you got to be really cautious of who you bring around, your family members, all that good stuff. I know, like I said, it's some if I ever get in a long-term relationship again, or when I do, let's be positive. Um,
okay.
it will not, or that person will not be introduced until I know it's for sure moving forward
Mhm.
with my mom and my dad, because they're two total different people, but one in the
Mhm.
same. They're gonna ask 150 questions.
Don't I know it? For your mom. I know that.
For
I
sure.
doesn't, in case you listening, I know.
She's gonna be the ringleader of the FBI, you know,
I'm telling you,
FBI.
she need to be on SVU.
Yeah, because she gonna get the answers.
She don't get the answer. We need her on the we need her in the anti-terrorism unit.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna hear about this when I get home.
that stuff. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah,
Boy.
but
Oh man.
it's good to get to experience love, like Lauren London said. You know, if you get to experience that once in a lifetime, then that's cool.
Mm,
You know, it's going to stay with you forever. And I will agree with that, you know.
mm,
Definitely will agree with that. It's just something that can't be replaced. Once you love someone, love that person, it's gonna always be there. So
mm. Cool. All right, we're gonna wrap this episode.
yeah,
Uh, we probably got to do a part 2 on this one.
yeah.
I think we might have to do a part 2 on this one. Yeah,
Cool.
cool. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I would say take a leap of faith. Definitely get into the dating pool if that is for you. You know, go to some different cities. You never know who you're gonna run into, see different people, get to experience different people. Um, and go from there. You know, I'm excited every single day that I wake up and get a new opportunity to get a chance to do something new or meet new people. So
Okay,
mhm.
cool. Final thoughts. I'm gonna steal something I heard one time. Uh, go to places where you want your significant other to be at.
Mm,
Like, if you looking for a significant other to be into like spoken word poetry,
mhm,
go to spoken word poetry events.
mhm,
If you looking for someone that likes to go hiking, then go hiking. If you like someone who likes to go to the gym or is into health or whatever, go to those places. Like go to the gym or go to uh like uh physical events, or you know what I mean? Like
One
where that's
music fest.
huh?
One music fest.
If
Where
you
you at?
yeah, like one music fest or like something that I would like. I've seen like I didn't know. I just found out that they do Ebony Fit weekends in different cities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Hmm.
it's a fitness community, and like I don't know who put it together, but they go to different cities and they host fitness events for a weekend. And
Really?
like all these different like influencers and like people who are really into health and fitness
Mhm.
and like do these different programs, they come out to these events and they do like, they it's like a whole weekend event. And it looks dope. And I think that's something I would like to go to one time and just check it out and see how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's my final thoughts. If you're looking for someone, like go to places where you would like that person to be, like whatever you're into and you would like your significant other to do, then do that.
Yeah.
If it's Comic Con,
Yeah.
you're an anime person, then go to Comic Cons, or whatever it is.
That is true. I will agree with that. Like you have to get out of your comfort zone in a sense, especially if you live in a small state like Delaware. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's cousins with everybody. And it's just like you don't want to date your cousin. So it would be best to, get out of your comfort zone, out of your state in a sense. So that's my plan.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, cousins, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining in. As always, whatever platform that you're using, please rate and please leave a review. If there's some ideas or whatever that you would like to hear, or some topics that like you like to hear about, put them in the comments, put them in the review, and rate us. Yeah, it helps us to figure out what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, where we can improve. What we do. I had a friend call me up and about a topic that we went over, and I was like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I mean? And then I was like, you want to come on? And he was like, no, 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 no. They hit me with the old Looney Tunes buzzer. No, 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 no. So
Oh my gosh.
but all right.
All
Y'all
right.
take it easy. Y'all be safe, and we'll catch you next time.
Yes, next time. All righty.
All right.